Hi, my friends. This is AD. This week's episode of Better Is Now, the podcast, asks the question, are you living your passion or are you living someone else's dream? And unfortunately, sometimes when we wind up living somebody else's dream, it winds up being our nightmare. This is what we're going to tackle this week. Let's get going.
This is AD Roberts. Welcome to Better Is Now, the podcast. I believe we live in a world filled with limitless possibilities, and in this world we are all looking to feel, do, and to be better. From that limitlessness, gentle nudges arise to remind us of our own possibilities. Today's nudge is about to begin right now.
Hey, my friends, this is AD, and I'm here to bring you yet another edition of Better Is Now, the podcast. Today, our topic is one that is, it's a tough one because it causes us to really be introspective. And the question is that we're posing is, are you following your passionate purpose or someone else's dream? I ask that question because many of us are sacrificing the vision that we have seen for our lives for comfort. Some of us are sacrificing what we have seen, this amazing life, for a job, for a job. And, we can go down that rabbit hole as to what that job means. I've heard just over broke, but just over broke, not just financially or your bank account, but broken spirits, broken dreams that are your own. So what I want to champion us today, or challenge us with today, is this whole idea of living your life or living your compromise. Many times, we see this picture for ourselves, but we fail to go after it. And what happens? So much happens. So much is sacrificed because we don't. Because what you have to realize is that much is connected to you not only realizing what your passionate purpose is, but also living out that passionate purpose. So much is connected to it. And one of the things that you have to realize is the first thing that's connected is your happiness, your simple happiness. Many people are going through right now in this moment. Many people are dealing with depression, anxiety, just really not happy with their life where it is. But the question is why? Many of us were sold this picture, this image of what life is supposed to be like, what society is. And we were born into this matrix, and this matrix tells us that, you go to school, you get a good education, you fall in love, meet somebody, marry him, have some kids, a dog, get the house, all of that stuff. There's this matrix planned out. And in order to have all of this stuff, the matrix tells us that we have to go to work. It's a 9 in the morning to 5 in the evening. And they're going to give us money to compensate us for our time. But the picture that you have in your mind is totally different from working a 9 to 5. It is different than exchanging your time for money. Exchanging time for money is kind of like it's a rat race. It's a wheel. There are not enough hours in the day for you to exchange time for money and become wealthy, or to even like in right now in 2022 for you to live a comfortable life. If you're exchanging time for money, you have to use leverage, and that's a whole nother talk in and of itself. But for today's topic, I simply want to encourage you to actually go after your dream. Go after the vision that you've seen for yourself, and stop compromising the vision that you've had for yourself. Stop compromising so much. Stop living your compromise and start living your vision, living your truth, living your passion. And so you may say, well, AD, I really don't know what my passion is. I don't know what my purpose is. Well, there are a couple of questions that you have to ask yourself. What is it that makes me get up in the morning and I'm excited about life? What is it? It's got to be something. Something is there. Because if you're living a life that is divorced of passion and purpose, I mean, is it even living at all? And that's a tough question. But if you're lucky enough or blessed enough to have a vision for yourself, what that looks like, what it feels like. The tough part that we're dealing with, because even with me, there were seasons in my life where I compromised the vision that I had for myself to have certain levels of comfort. And those certain levels of comfort came with, all kinds of opportunities are going to present themselves. All kinds of opportunities. And a lot of times those opportunities wind up being very big distractions, beautiful distractions, because they come with the promise of. Is that, I remember there was a season where I was transitioning, like after I had lost everything, during the last financial crisis in 2007, 2008. And it was really, really tough for everybody in my industry, because at that time I was heavily invested in real estate and finance and all that kind of stuff. But I've always visioned doing this. I've always saw myself empowering and uplifting people. Well, I had started the process of doing just that. I had went away. I left the country. I went away for like 3 months. I had written my first book, and I came back here to the United States, and I started this new life. I was in the process of reinventing myself and not acquiescing to the matrix. I saw a vision of my life where I was empowering and uplifting, and I was doing speaking engagements and all of that kind of stuff. But the desire to have everything right then, especially the money part, let's just be candid, I was looking for the money. And so in looking for the money, when you start any new venture, when you're reinventing yourself and you start a new project or a new business, there's not going to be a whole lot of money up front. There's just not. And if you don't have a trust fund, or if you don't have wealthy benefactors or whatever, if you're starting from scratch like I was, many of us start from scratch. Many of us start from, ground zero. So this was ground zero for me because I had lost everything in that recession. Well, that being the case, it put me in a position where, I was looking for those funds, but what wound up happening, a beautiful proposition was given to me. Somebody offered me an opportunity to consult, with their company, and they made me an offer that I should have refused. But it was real difficult because it was an absolutely amazing offer. It even came with, like ownership parts and all kinds of stuff. And that decision threw me off track for a number of years, a really long time, longer than it should have, because I was too busy working to manifest someone else's dream and not mine. But I had to ask myself, why? The why was because I obviously did not trust the process enough. The why was that I had doubts and trepidations about my own abilities to actually make this thing happen. Now, this is me being absolutely transparent. It was because I was wrestling with my own insecurities, my own fears, my own doubts about my own ability to make the thing really happen. because I had tried and had done some things before and they did okay, but it was never big enough for me to support the full-blown vision that I had. And so I spent all of this time working. Instead of working on my business, I was working on somebody else's dream. Instead of living my passion, living my life, I was living my compromise, because it came with some zeros. It came with a check. And that check, it cost me dearly. So the reason why I'm talking today is that I don't want you to find yourself in a place where you are compromising the vision that you have seen for yourself just for a paycheck, just for comfort, because you're a little scared, because you're a little insecure. Those things are natural. As long as you're alive in this third dimensional reality, you're gonna run into that. It's natural. But what I do want you to understand is that you don't have to stay there. And one of two things is gonna happen, one of three things. One is that you're going to stay there in that position. You're going to stay there in that position, working somebody else's dream. And oftentimes their dream becomes your nightmare, because you hate your job. You hate the position that you have. You're carrying loads that you really shouldn't carry, because it has nothing to do with you, for real. It really has nothing to do with your vision, your passion, your dreams, your hopes, your aspirations. It has nothing to do with it. It has everything to do with compromise. So you wind up staying there. That's one. And being miserable for the rest of your life. Two, you can try. Note the word try. You can try to work on your vision. You can try your business, and you can teeter back and forth between your intentions to really have your own business or your own dreams fulfilled, while you're still trying to play this balancing act by getting the benefits of still playing over here. But see, when you're lukewarm about stuff, the universe really doesn't get excited about, you playing it safe. The third outcome could be you throwing caution to the wind and stepping out on faith. Throwing caution to the wind and becoming very, very prepared. And when I mean prepared, have a plan. Have a plan for the vision that you've seen for yourself. There's some classes that you can take. There's some new skills that you can learn, some new certifications and things that you can get that will support the vision that you have. Whatever it is, I don't care. But you have to put yourself in a position to bolster your own confidence, your own belief in yourself, and in the process of making this thing happen. It is totally up to you. And when you're sacrificing, just remember what you're sacrificing. You are sacrificing your happiness. You're sacrificing the quality of your life. And you're also quite possibly sacrificing the wealth that you could be attracting into your life. And what I mean by that is, most of the time, when you look at those who are absolutely wealthy and ultra wealthy, those who have attracted so much prosperity in their lives, they, one, are working for themselves. Two, are doing something that they're absolutely passionate about. Even if they're not working for themselves, they are absolutely passionate about it, and they have attracted so much into their life because of it, that the wealth that you have seen for yourself, the lifestyle that you have seen for yourself, it really is attached to your own happiness. And the way to be happy is to be self-actualized. And the way to be self-actualized is to actually go after the thing that you have seen for yourself. The vision, going after that vision. Stop allowing the distance between where you are right now and the vision that you have. Stop allowing that gap to be so great. Each day, touch your dream. Each day, close the gap. Close the gap between where you are now and where you want to be. That gap is really an illusion, because the universe is always partnering with us to have the best version of our lives. It really is. And I need you to believe that, and not just believe it, but to know it, that the universe is partnering with you so that everything that happens where your life moves from one that is serendipitous to one that is synchronistic. Yes, to shift from serendipity to synchronicity is huge, because when you start to operate in your purpose, the universe gets excited and you start to see things fall into place just automatically. And you start feeling good about it. Even when you're having bad days, if you start operating in your passionate purpose, you will shift and change that energy. And the universe will there she is again. She's working on it. He's working on his project. He's working on his dream. And tiny moments of you working on that vision diligently every day, day in and day out, will ultimately lead you to the place that you have seen for yourself. So with that, I want you to stop sacrificing for something else. Stop sacrificing for somebody else. Stop sacrificing for somebody else's vision, somebody else's dream, somebody else's lifestyle. If any sacrifices are going on, it should be for you. It should be for you. It should be for your family. It should be for where you are right now. Have faith, trust the process, and begin to trust yourself. Do some things, garner some new skill sets, take some classes, get a coach. Find somebody that has been there, done that can help you to move beyond your fears and to build yourself up to a place where you no longer work or operate from a place of insecurity. Because that's what is keeping you or holding you hostage in that place that you're in right now. Have faith, have courage, believe that you're not alone, and that when you begin to start acting out of that courage, amazing things begin to happen. People start showing up in your life. Money starts manifesting itself in your space in order for you to take the next step further. I was just talking to a friend the other day who had been teetering around launching a new aspect of their business and getting this equipment. It was going to cost thousands of dollars for this equipment. And she was like, I don't know, and I don't want to get into big debt and this and that. I don't know how I'm going to do it. And I told her a couple of things that she should do. And I said, now I'm trusting that it's going to happen. Now watch, do this, this, and this, and you'll have the money for it. In a matter of minutes, not hours or days, in a matter of minutes, with her following my instructions, she literally had the resources to buy the new equipment that cost her thousands of dollars. She didn't have it, but she does now. That is because as long as you have just enough faith and you step out and you do certain things that are in alignment with the vision that you have for your life, the universe will partner with you. Faculties will begin to come alive in you that you didn't even know you had. You will wake up new skills and abilities in your mind. You will attract new people, new places, new things, new opportunities, all because you believed in you and you stepped out on that faith. So that's what I want you to do. That's what I want you to do today. Go back, touch that dream, fill it full of passion, sit down, meditate about it, feel yourself in that state, in that place of you actually living out that dream. Find your heart or place your heart in the emotional state of that beautiful tomorrow and begin the process of shifting your life to where you want it to be, so you're no longer living your compromise, but you're living your life, the one that you have seen for yourself.
This is A.D. Roberts, and you have been listening to Better Is Now, the podcast. Follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter for awesome programs and inspiring publications. Also, if you haven't yet, please subscribe to this podcast on your favorite platform like Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or our very own Anchor. See you next time.